Speaking about things that aren't the end, Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, and DC. 3 gigantic properties.
4, Ravi. 4.
What did I say?
3.
3? Guys,
I mean, you could say
English
DC,
has been hard.
You know, DC and Warner Brothers is a distant fourth,
That's
just
true.
because the DCEU is,
It's practically
a mess.
Pile of hot garbage.
It's the NHL of
Wow.
We should
of stuff.
We should do a
totally-
comparison,
let's do a comparison.
between the big 4 leagues,
Yeah.
like the big 4
Let's
franchises.
do it real quick.
Oh, okay. So I think Arjun hit the nail on the head. NHL, the National Hockey League, is
DC.
basically the DC.
Disney has to be the NFL.
Yeah, it's got to be the top. It's number 1. Well,
Disney, I would say, hold on. I would say,
NBA Disney?
Hold on. Are we doing studios or are we doing like
no, we're doing the 4
franchise?
franchises.
These 4
Star Wars, Marvel.
Oh, so yeah. Well, Disney is Marvel. And
Oh,
Star
I'm sorry.
Wars.
I fucked that up. My bad.
Yeah.
Forget
No,
what I
that's
just
fine.
said. Wait, yeah, okay. So DC is NHL. NFL's the number 1. So
It's got to
would
be
it-
Marvel.
Would it be Marvel or would it be Star Wars?
In terms of money, right? If you're going for the money comparison,
Yeah.
it would have to
I
be Marvel.
I wouldn't go with the money comparison. I would just go more with like
Name recognition?
not name recognition, but it's kind of like a gut thing.
Yeah.
And this is I know
Star Wars is NFL.
exactly in the
Yeah.
sense that like NFL fan, and I'm about to like shit on NFL fans, but NFL fans historically, like there are 2 big events that I can draw comparisons: the big event in Star Wars and the big event in the NFL. The NFL,
Super Bowl.
no, the big event in the NFL where everyone's like, "Wow, NFL fans are shitheads," is the whole Kaepernick and kneeling stuff.
Oh,
And that you can compare directly to Episode 8 and what the fucking jackass Star Wars fans said about
one
people
way.
of color and,
I'm
and all that.
I'm gonna disagree with the NFL being Star Wars, and this is why. Star Wars is niche compared to Marvel. Marvel is more encompassing, has more overall fans. Yes, it's younger. So here's the comparison then.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars is baseball, right? Baseball being America's sport. Star Wars is older.
I would argue.
Hold on. Star Wars is older. It's more niche. It's more specified.
No.
It's going through a lull right now because of the new trilogy. They've tried to reinvent baseball. They tried to reinvent Star Wars.
You're basically
think it's a little better.
you're summing up Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek is definitely baseball.
Star Trek is
because that
definitely
fan base
baseball,
is even older and is
And Star Trek is trying so hard to make
Yeah.
itself relevant.
exactly that feels
I agree
like
with
that feels like
So
baseball.
it's okay, but I still think NFL is Marvel because it's still on top. It produces an ungodly amount of revenue. It is in your face 24/7 to the point where you get sick of it.
Wait, you're saying NFL is Marvel?
Yes. The reason I'm saying that is because, right, you get 3-4 Marvel movies, you get 3 NFL games a week. You got Monday Night Football, you got Thursday Night Football, you got Sunday Night Football. Then you have these events like the draft and the combine and free agency and all, preseason, right? Then everything's a big storyline.
Yeah.
And even like the Thursday night game last week, which happened like during the election cycle, and everyone's like, this game's going to go, it's going to suck, and its ratings going to go down. The ratings went down 5%. So even though like it went in a bad spot where most other things would decline, it still did well. Same with Marvel right now, right? You could have a bad movie and it's still going to make.
So
$1
you're
billion.
saying so let's go to the NBA then. You're saying Star Wars is NBA.
I would argue.
I don't know if anything
hold
fits
on,
the NBA
Hold on.
very
I
well.
would say Star Wars is more like the NBA in the sense that it's trying out new forms of content. Right? NBA, we know it has been probably the top in terms of like 360 type of content. They've been more open to betting types of content. Star Wars traditionally has, Star Wars is Star Wars is soccer. That's great. That's huge best.
Dude, soccer's awesome. Get out of here, like
Star Wars has done, I think, a better job than Marvel has in terms of expanding upon types of content. They've Star Wars has always been this gigantic thing of movies, books, and now more relevant times is movies, these Disney Plus shows. We have these VR experiences. There's a whole fucking theme park for Star Wars. So I would say they're similar in terms of they are trying new types of content.
I think you could. I would say Star Wars is NFL. They've both been around. Well, everything. No, that's not true. Never mind. Forget it. I'm done.
We have a comment here from Miko Matter.
Yeah.
Marvel equals NBA. Star Trek equals baseball. NFL equals Star Wars.
I agree.
You forgot about DC and NHL.
I think that's universally agreed upon.
That makes sense. And I think Star Trek being baseball also makes like perfect sense.
Yeah. Star Trek and baseball. That does.
That's
that,
just like a no-brainer.
That feels right.
But the NFL, the
But
NBA,
there's more hope.
Star Wars,
I feel like
and
there's more
Marvel.
hope for Star Trek than baseball, right?
yes.
Oh, big time.
Yes. Yeah. I would. I think we can all agree.
Baseball.
That's literally
sucks.
that's literally like that's the only probably disagreement I think you'd get in the comparison. That there's probably more hope for Star Trek, and there's also there's more TV shows than there ever have been for Star Trek. I mean, you have three.
17.
You have three currently, currently in
Only
production or air, and you have another 2 or 3 in pre-production that are going to come to air. So
Here's why I think Marvel and NBA works, is because Marvel has more marketable characters, I would say, than Star Wars. In fact, every single superhero is just a marketing figure, toys, whatever. And I think the NBA, as opposed to the NFL, can market their players better. So from a marketing perspective, I feel like those are more parallel. NBA and Marvel. Whereas Star Wars and NFL, they have a lot more random people running around. Like there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters in both of these franchises, obviously, but a lot of like less known characters. Just like in the NFL, there's a lot less known stars wearing helmets, and there's like 53 players to a roster. So yeah, that's how that's why I feel like Star Wars is NFL and Marvel is NBA. To me,
I think going to kind of wrap this up, I think we can agree DC is
that's the easy
NHL,
one. That's the easy one.
Star Trek is baseball.
That's the
Then I
next
think
easiest.
you can kind of move.
You can make arguments.
You can make arguments between NFL, NBA, Star Wars, and Marvel.
Yeah.
And Harry Potter is
Yo mama.
MLS
Yo mama.
golf.
Yo mama.
I have no idea what Harry Potter would be.
I mean, Harry Potter is probably like the 5th biggest franchise.
MLS.
out of
UFC.
those 4.
UFC. There's a bloodbath out there.
You could also make the argument Harry Potter could be baseball because it is on a steep decline from where it was years ago.
Yeah, but baseball has like this long tradition where Harry Potter.
Yeah, it definitely.
It's
does.
like a newer. I would say Lord of the Rings could be. Lord of the Rings might be a better. For
Lord of the Rings would be like the Olympics.
Cricket.
It shows up once every 4 years.
From our chat, Miko Matter is saying that Harry Potter is cricket.
No, because cricket is also quite an ancient sport. Like Harry Potter has to be something kind of new that's already died out. Maybe UFC. I think UFC is actually a pretty good.
Remember how when UFC, probably like maybe 5-7 years ago?
Yeah,
that was probably its peak.
Yeah, when McGregor was at his peak,
Yeah.
UFC was at its peak, and it's not.
We don't
it's not
have
even close to
anyone
being
like
the same. It's not
there's
even
no
close.
hype.
So
Unfortunately,
it came out of the blue. It had its 7-year run, and now it's gone, just like Harry Potter.
Fucking hate Harry
and Dana
Potter.
White's.
But we didn't bring up these 4 amazing franchises just to compare them to America's biggest.
So that was a
sports
fun
leagues.
exercise.
That was a great exercise.
You're welcome, America.
Yeah, giving them what they didn't ask for.